I'm Dave Rosengrant. This week, we catch up with Mia Hopkins, professional basketball player who starred at Pittston Area as a two-time All-State player for the Patriots. She racked up 1,500 points and 1,000 rebounds, being the only female in Pittston Area school history to achieve that mark. Along the way, she scored her 1,000th point as a junior. From there, she went on to play collegiately at Monmouth, Bloomsburg, and Westchester. At Westchester, she almost averaged nearly a triple-double, but she nearly averaged a double-double while at Westchester, but she had a triple-double in one game, becoming just the second woman in school history to record a triple-double in a game. After college, she went to play professionally over in Europe. Now she's trying to catch on with another professional league in Texas. But before she heads to Texas, she made a stop in the area over the weekend in Rice Township at the park there and held a camp, an Unveil the Truth camp, where she taught youngsters, youth basketball players, all about the game of basketball. And coming up this coming weekend on May 29th, which is Saturday, at the Jewish Community Center in Kingston, Mia Hopkins will be hosting a shooting contest for youth at 3 p.m. and adults at 4:30 p.m. And at this camp, participants could win, adults could win $200 in cash and prizes, and youth participants could win gift cards or prizes. So it's great to see that former basketball standout from Pittston Area is returning to the area here and making a mark with the youth and just about everybody in the community. I caught up and had a nice conversation with Mia Hopkins at the Rice Township Park in Mountaintop. And you're going to hear that conversation in just a second. But first, I want to thank event organizer Michelle Jacobson for helping out and putting on a great show for all the kids. And it was enjoyable to watch, to see how these kids are learning and grasping these skills from a professional basketball player. And, these kids as young as 7 years old are learning the skills from a pro basketball player, and that's great. So again, thanks to Michelle Jacobson, who organized the event. And without further ado, here is my conversation with Mia Hopkins, former Pittston Area basketball standout and current professional basketball player. Okay. All right, Mia, thanks for being on the program. We're here at one of your camps. So tell us a little bit about your camp and what you do and, just that kind of thing.
Okay, I got you. All right, so I've been doing these camps since last summer. I did a lot of camps in college, and I loved camp, and so I decided I wanted to start doing my own. So last summer, I met Michelle, coaching her kids up with My Sky Elite, and me and her became good friends, and she honestly helped me a lot with putting it together, and then we just honestly made it happen. This was the park that we chose. We just chose it because she actually lives close by to here, and it's a quiet park. No one comes and bothers us or nothing. And so it was a good location, and I just stuck with this spot, and it's been really good. So I love running camp because I love to be able to take everything that I've been through and come and bring it back here to the youth. As I continue to go through things, like it's like every time I leave and come back, I have more information. So it's really cool to be able to like pass that along, and I feel like that's like what I'm meant to do. So I really like love this a lot. So I'm excited for today, and I have a week left here, and next week we're doing a shooting contest, so that'll be cool too, to give out some prizes. And yeah, I just started with the shooting contest stuff. Even today I have some prizes for the kids, because I always thought that was cool, like growing up, having, like trying to get a prize. And I'm actually giving out gift cards, so it's actually a cool prize, like it's not like just something plastic or something. Like it's actually, you could take it and do something with it. And like I think it kind of shows too, like, wow, like I can make money playing basketball. Like I can, do things like that with something that I love to do. I can actually make money doing it, or I can compete doing it. I'm trying to like put that in their heads and also make it fun as well. So I just love it. So I try to make it as cool and fun as possible for them.
Now, you said your last event in the area is the shooting contest. What's on your agenda after that?
So I'll be going to the Dominican Republic to play in a tournament for 2 weeks. And then I could potentially be staying there to play. Or what the plan is right now is to go back to San Antonio. I have a team there, which is kind of similar to like a minor league for women. So that's all a credible film, stats, and it's high level. It's basically where people are going right now that like aren't playing overseas at the moment. Like that's kind of where the high level like women are going. These are just being really kind of created now. Like they didn't have them really before, so now it's growing. So it'll be my first time playing in a league like that in America. So I'm excited for that. My agent's running it actually, which is cool too. So, I know the people involved and stuff. And so that's the plan right now. So either or, San Antonio or Dominican Republic, I'm happy with either, honestly. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then the plan is to go to Europe come fall.
Now, you played in Europe previously.
Yeah.
What was that like, playing over there?
A journey, for sure. I could just say it's been a journey. A lot of fun and just an adventure all around, because, I was by myself out there, and things also always don't go, like, as smooth as you think. So, like, just being able to deal with, like, different things that happen and move around if you have to, and just honestly become, like, very independent. Like, my life has changed from just, like, being that far away by myself. It definitely changed me, evolved me, and I love it. I love to travel. That's why I always like to come back to visit, but I love to travel. I love to move around, so I think that's definitely meant for me to do that.
Where are you currently living now? In Texas? Is that?
Well, right now while I'm here, I'm staying with my mom in the house that I grew up in, but I plan to have a place in Texas when I get back there.
Okay. Unveil the truth. Where did that come from?
Within, honestly. It just really came to me, and it just means to uncover, uncover the limitations, uncover the fears, because they're not there. They're an illusion. And I think so many people get caught up in, like, thinking, oh, I can't do this because, or someone said, or whatever. Like, I just never listened to what anyone said that was trying to put me down, and I just kept going. Like, and I also have, like, themes with, like, checkers and stuff too, which, like, describes to me, like, the marathon, Nipsey Hussle. Like, just, like, keep on going, because it's not like you have it and then it's, like, all figured out. It's like, no, you actually have to just keep going. That's the key. It's not like you're born, you have it figured out when you're born. It's like you understand because you keep going. You keep leveling up. Like, no matter what happens, it's just about leveling up and not dealing with the fears, illusions, especially from other people, because people don't know like how to deal with fear and limitation, so they project it onto you. So I think people need to just like unveil what's in them and just stay true to themselves.
How do you instill that in kids? Because at a young age, you kind of have to instill that in kids, right, to get their confidence going, but it's hard to get them to think about that.
It is. But somehow I know that I have connections with these kids, and I just feel if it's coming from me, they might listen. They might listen because I was in their exact shoes. I did camps just like this. I'm from the 570, and I made it out, and I want to just continue to like prove that you can do anything.
You've been to a lot of different places. Is there one that kind of stands out for you? You know, whether it was as AAU as a teenager, mm-hmm, before that, or just traveling in Europe.
I really did love Greece. That was like my favorite just place all around. It has its own vibe for sure. I loved traveling everywhere, but Greece was my favorite. Also, something that happened with basketball, it's not AAU, but I was playing in this league in New York. This is when I was in college. I was playing in this league in New York, and I made the all-star team, and we actually got to play outside the Barclays Center. They had a court set up outside. It was really, really nice and really cool, and Kevin Durant actually is the one that sponsored it, and you know, we got all free gear, we got free Kevin Durant shoes, and like all this stuff, and I don't know, like everyone was saying, you know, Kevin Durant's gonna come, and you don't believe it because I don't know, you just don't. It's like everyone's just talking, you know. And during the game, I like noticed, I locked eyes with the man. He was right there under the hoop, so that just like really inspired me that I like played in front of him, and like it was just honestly like part of the dream. Like I felt enlightened in that moment.
Did you get to meet him?
I did not get to meet him, sadly, but I did lock eyes with him a little longer probably than I should have. Like the game's going on over here, and I'm just like staring at Kevin Durant, but I know I'm going to meet him, so I'm excited for that, and I think that was just like a part of it. It was a glimpse of it.
Who's the most famous basketball player that you've met?
That I've met? Honestly, I don't think I've met any. Let me think about it for a second. It's a hard question. I know my agent met a lot of really famous basketball players. Okay. I'm not sure, actually. I'd have to think about it.
So the KD one is probably
probably right that. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
When you look back at your playing career at Pittston Area, you guys had, pretty good team, a lot of really good players, but you kind of had some problems getting over the pinnacle. Yep. When you look back at that, what do you take from that? What did you learn from those years? It's really interesting to look back on because it seems like a life ago, and like skill wise, like it's not like I had all these miraculous skills in high school. Like looking back, I like ball handling, shooting, all that stuff. Like now, I train for it every single day, like multiple hours a day. But like then, I always like got shots up and stuff. But like it was mostly savagery. Like it wasn't anything. It wasn't any X's and O's for me. Like, it wasn't any, like, okay, you have to be here and do this. Like, no, it was just, I was just playing. Like, that was it.
So I think that part of it is really cool because, like, I look back and watch, and it's just like I'm just out there reacting. Like, I'm just in the zone. It had nothing to do really with all this, stuff to train for and stuff. Honestly, I just did it. So I think that was really cool. But also, on the other hand, looking back, it's like, wow, if I was training like I am now, and if I was doing the skills, like, picture how good I could have been then. But then at the same time, it's like, that evolved me to this point. But I think we did not win, we didn't win when it counted. We did have, like you said, really good teams, but we just didn't win when it counted because I think we, as a unit, lacked that X's and O's portion. Like, I think we just all were hungry and we just went at them. Like, we just played, but I think sometimes we lacked that, I don't know the word. We lacked just having structure all around. We just didn't have the structure to pull it off when it counted. But find us in the park, we're going to beat you. But in that setting, I just don't think we had the correct structure.
1,500 points at Pittston, 1,000 rebounds. When you're in that process of putting up those milestones, is there any doubt in your mind that you're going to be playing at the next level after college?
No. There's never a doubt. Never. My grandfather, he always, told me that whoever, if you're watching basketball and you, see them playing, can you see yourself playing at that level? That's what he always, can you see yourself playing with them? Are you good enough to play out there? And, he instilled that in me as a kid. So I always thought, even now I watch the WNBA, I'm I could play there. I know that I can. So it's the same thing, and I think that was instilled in me at a young age from him. He's taught me a lot mentally. He made me very mentally tough. And, he was a great coach, but he didn't – it wasn't like he had me out there, you have to make 2,000 shots a day. It wasn't like that. It would be like, all right, I'm 8 years old. I want to play horse. And he would beat me in horse, and he'd be like, you're no good. Get better. And then he'd go in the house. So, different stuff like that. I think he really just did instill this in me, this fire. But it wasn't direct. It was very indirect, and it worked.
And that's something that you can pass on and try to instill in these kids here with these camps, too, right?
Correct, yep. That's the plan.
How do you do that?
I think just, like I said before, just lead in by example. They know, they know who I am for the most part, and they know that I went overseas and overcame a lot of odds. So I think coming from me, anything that I'm saying, I think they are taking it serious. I think they're taking it, she could do it, so maybe I could do it. And that's the type of mentality that I want to instill in them and show them that it's all possible. And it doesn't have to be basketball. It doesn't always have to be exactly one thing. That's applied to everything. Unveil the truth, apply to whatever. Whatever you want it to be, whatever your passion is, whatever you love to do, unveil that. Unveil
the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
When you played in college, you kind of traveled a little bit there too. Was Westchester your favorite or best time?
It was, yeah, I would say so. I went to Monmouth in the beginning. I did like Monmouth a lot too, but yeah, I would say Westchester was my home for sure. I just, people always talk about when you get to college, it kind of just clicks, oh, I was meant to be there. And I never had that moment at Monmouth or Bloomsburg. I just didn't have it. And then when I got to Westchester, it was wow, everyone's just like me here. That's how it was. And it was I got to really be myself, and I didn't have to worry or tiptoe around or any of that stuff. We got to just play basketball. And honestly, my last year I went 5 years. I had a red shirt. So, like, my 5th year, we had a lot of success, and we just got to, like, play basketball. So that was a lot of fun. And I did love Westchester a lot, so.
Getting a triple-double is rare, and you got one for Westchester, and at the time it was just the second one in school history. So
yeah.
To make history like that, and especially when you don't see it that often in women's college basketball, what's that like?
That was cool. That was really cool. I actually was going for a quadruple-double that day, and I only needed 2 steals, so I had 8 steals. But we were winning by a lot in this game, and my coach had taken me out. And the old head coach of Westchester, like my head coach's head coach, she's retired now, somehow contacted my coach on the bench. Like, I don't know if she called someone or what. They told my coach to put me back in at the last, 3 minutes so I would get the steals. But then it just ended up me running around like a crazy person trying to, foul everybody because I was trying to steal the ball. Right. But so I did not get them. But getting the triple-double was amazing, and, it went on senior night. It happened. So that was really cool, too. And, me and my roommate both had big games that day. She got her 1,000th point. And, this is all, it's like a fairy tale. It happened, all on senior night. So that was a really magical moment in my life, and I was really grateful for it.
How close were you to getting the steals? Were you? Did you get the ball at all?
Yeah, I did. I think I got a couple jump balls and stuff like that. I was just diving on the ground at that point. They were playing, and they knew, so they were playing keep away. So it was like monkey in the middle.
Did you? You said you were fouling people. Did you get close to fouling out at that point?
Honestly, I think I did foul out. I think I did foul out, actually. Yeah.
So the coach didn't even have a chance to pull you out because you fouled out.
Yeah.
The NBA playoffs are coming up. I'm sure they've started already. Have you diagnosed it at all? Looked at it? Who you like in it? Well,
I mean, all my favorite players are on the Nets. So I think, they got a super team, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. And then, you got LeBron and the Lakers. So, I mean, I think those are the teams to watch. But, I mean, basketball is a crazy sport, so it's going to be really cool to see what ends up happening.
You played in Westchester. Obviously, Philadelphia is close to Westchester. The Sixers are doing good this year.
Oh, they are doing good, too. You're right. You're right. Don't count them out.
Have you looked at them at all, how they match up with Brooklyn or anything? It does seem like Brooklyn is the favorite, even though the Sixers are the top seed.
Yeah, but again, I think, it comes down, at the end of the day, can just straight up talent beat good coaching? We'll see. Because the Sixers, they have a great coach right now, and it's proven. So it's going to be really cool to see.
Who's your favorite team?
So I'm more of a player. I like a lot of players, That's why I guess the Nets might be my team right now. But I like the Warriors too. I like Steph. I like Kevin Durant. So I mean, they split now, but I'm not really into, this team, that team. It's more I just like the players a lot because I watch them a lot, instead of watching the straight up game a lot, I just watch YouTube. I slow it down. I watch their moves. So it's more like that for me right now.
You had to have a favorite team growing up though, right?
I mean, I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. As a baby, I always liked the Bulls. So, I mean, I have a lot of Bulls stuff, so I like the Bulls, I would say.
You can't go wrong with Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Exactly.
Did you follow him when you played with the Wizards then, I would guess, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was at that weird age. I was 9 at that point. I followed it more when I was a baby because I would watch it with my mom and stuff. And then once I started growing up, I would say I like the Warriors. Once Steph became Steph, I did like the Warriors. And we also watched the Rockets a lot growing up, too, because Bob Sturra played for my grandpa. So he was on the Rockets with T-Mac. And that was they had Yao Ming. That was a good team right there. So we watched them a lot, too.
Is there a player that you molded your game after?
There's multiple. Now, I watch Kobe. I watch Michael Jordan. I watch Kevin Durant, Steph, Fred VanVleet, Luka. Those are the people that I mostly try to mold my game after. Some Kyrie, but Kyrie's Kyrie, so he's a different breed. But I try and like pick people that play similar to me in a sense, and I kind of like try and take skills from this person and that person, and then like now I'm my own person, you know. So I try and take skills from all my favorite players.
How about on the women's side?
On the women's side, Diana Taurasi.
Okay.
For sure. For sure. I think she's the GOAT, and I think she should be the highest paid player in the WNBA, and it's crazy that she's not.
Now, you mentioned a lot of men who were playing, and then Diana, obviously. What's the big difference between the men and the women?
I'm glad you're asking me these questions, because I actually played in a couple men's leagues the last, not the last 2 months, but like before I went to Texas, I played a lot in men's leagues out here. So I think the biggest difference between men's and women's is mostly just like power, athleticism. Obviously women can't really dunk. Some can, but for the most part, most women can't. So I think that is the biggest difference, especially with like WNBA, NBA. The biggest difference is dunking. Like straight up, like men can just come, boom, dunk. Like we can't do that. So that is, I think, the biggest difference. That's the biggest difference that I've seen.
So is it easier to, being a woman, is it easier for you to mold your game after someone like Diana Taurasi, or just keep watching the men and pick up some things there and then take that?
I do both. I watch both. I watch WNBA games. So I would definitely say both, because like moves-wise, like getting into your moves, like ball handling or like shooting and stuff, it's very similar. I think the biggest difference is dunking, and I'm not trying to dunk, so I was able to grab the rim for a while because I was practicing it religiously, like before I went to Texas. But then I was jumping a little too much and hurt my ankle, so I had to like stop jumping so much. But for the first time in my life, I was able to hit the rim, so that was cool. But I'm pretty close right now. I just tried the other day for like the first time in a while, and I'm pretty close, so I'm like, I should start jumping again like that. But we'll see, because I want to keep my body strong and ready to go when I get to the DR on Monday. So, and
doing that can tax you.
Exactly. So dunking and jumping, touching the rim it's not the most important thing. I think it's really cool to be a woman and be able to even grab the rim at 5'10". So I think that's definitely something that I want to keep, and I want to keep it close. And if I want to get it, I can get it. But I'm pretty close to it, and I think jumping is important for basketball. But I don't think it's the most important thing.
Especially in the women's game.
Yeah, exactly, because we can't dunk anyway. So.
Right. All right, well, Mia Hopkins, thanks for coming on, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you.
That'll do it for this week's episode of NEPA SportsXtra. As always, give us a follow on Twitter and Facebook with our handle at NEPA SportsXtra. That is NEPA SportzXtra. And if you have a business you would like to get the word out about, or you would just like to contact us via email at nepasportsextra@gmail.com. And until next time, I am Dave Rosengrant, saying keep some extra time in your life for some sports in NEPA.